Hey Greg, let's talk bourbon. So today we get to find out just how good Bardstown Discovery Series number 11, or Disco 11, just how good Disco 11 is. I started this a few weeks ago. I was hanging around, trying to drink up some of my lesser bottles. I've got, like 7 of them set aside that I'm just trying to drink up, and I don't think they need to be around here anymore. But I was getting bored with that, so I started picking out like a nice bottle to go with it, remind myself, yeah, this is the good bourbon. And one day I picked Disco 11 off the shelf, and I was having that with it. And yeah, Disco 11 was better than these lesser bottles, and I was trying, but I couldn't help but think, is this really that good? It's been a while since I've had Disco 11, probably 10, 12 months since I've had it in a blind. Is it that good? I mean, it was $135, right? Is $135 good? So I was thinking about that, and I couldn't help myself. So I tried the Disco 12, what was right next to it, but wasn't opened yet. So I opened that up, and that set me on for the last 2 videos. One where I opened up some bottles, and then last week I did a blind where I pulled out, it turns out I had 11 bottles of blended whiskey, because Disco 11, of course, as you know, is a blended whiskey. It's a collaborative idea, right? That's not part of the collaborative series, but they source other people's whiskey and they blend it with some of their own, and that's what the Discovery Series is about. So I'm trying to figure out, which ones do I like best, and then try and work my way down to the point where, I want to see where Disco 11 fits, because a lot of these bottles weren't around 10, 12 months ago, weren't on my shelves then, when I last had it in a blind. So here we go, right? Last week I showed that I had 11 bottles, and it's too many to do at one time, so I split them up into 2 groups. I did the low proof, I had the high proof. So last week I did a blind of the lower proof bottles, and there were 6 of them. Saved the 5 higher proof bottles for today, and I was going to take the winner of that blind and put it in with this blind. Well, okay. What I end up happening here is that there were actually 2 bottles from that first blind, last week's blind, that were just so good I had to include them in this blind. And those were the Hard Truth Farmers Reserve, as well as the Chattanooga Founders 12th Anniversary Blend. So all of these bottles, they're going to get joined in with the other 5 here that have been waiting. All of these bottles are blended whiskey. Some of them, 2 of them are Burr Ryes. The others are all just blended bourbon. And, actually, now that I think about it, the Old Elk is also a Burr Rye. There's some rye in that along with the bourbon. So here we go. We're going to finally get the blind here where we've got the higher proof stuff. We've got the big hitters here in the Disco 11, Disco 12, the Old Elk Cigar Blend. So this should be a really fun one for me. Let's introduce what we got here. We've got Chattanooga's, their Founders Blend here, 12th anniversary. It is 3 whiskeys, 3 bourbons, 2 of which are Chattanooga's own blend. I believe it was 88% all of Chattanooga's own distillate. They do blend it with another bourbon that is sourced. Then we've got Bourbon Barrel. This is number 35. Really good. It is 3 whiskeys that are blended together, sourced from Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Well, I'll let you guess at what those distilleries are. Then we have Hard Truth Farmers Reserve. It is a blend of their malted rye, the chocolate malt rye. There we go. I knew I was missing something there. The chocolate malt rye, as well as then their sweet mash bourbon, and then they finished it in Amarana casks. Very tasty. So next, blackened cask strength. This is a blend. It's a Burr Rye, but beyond that, they don't really tell us much about where it was sourced. We know it was sourced whiskey. We don't necessarily know where, but they did take that blend then and they finished it in black brandy casks. All right, Disco 11. So Disco 11 it's three whiskeys, 3 bourbons, 2 of which are sourced somewhere in Kentucky. The third, and that is 94% of this blend. 6% of it is Bardstown's own bourbon, a wheated bourbon. That's a 6-year. So these that 94%, the 2 other bourbons, they were a 13-year and a 10-year. Now, Disco 12. See, I got to use their cheat sheets on here because it's complicated, right? Disco 12 is 4 bourbons, 3 of which are sourced in Kentucky, a 14-year, a 10-year, and a 10-year. And then 8% is Bardstown's own mash bill. Again, it is a wheated bourbon, and it is a 6-year. So, and then lastly, we have Old Elk's Island Cigar Blend. So this is a Burr Rye, all finished, right? So it's a 6-year high malt bourbon with a 6-year rye and a 6-year wheated bourbon. And then they took those and finished them in sherry casks, port casks, and rum casks, and blended it all together. It's really quite tasty. Price-wise, just to give you a little bit of a comparison here, price-wise, the Chattanooga was for $55. The barrel number 35 I got for $65, although I got to tell you, now these things are going for around $80. The Farmer's Reserve was, I think I bought it for $78. The Blackened, this was marked for $80, but I got it on sale for $40. Really good deal there. Then the Disco 11 was $135. The Disco 12 was $135. And the Island Cigar Blend here from Old Elk, I believe I bought it for $135, but I did just recently see this in the store for $150. So here we are. So we got quite a range, $55 up to $150. As far as proof goes, I don't want to dive into all of it, but let's just say that the Chattanooga here is 100 proof. The high proof one here is the Blackened at 123 proof. Others, the rest here is like 117, 106, 118, 115, and 111. So they're all kind of in between there. Will proof, the lower proof of the Chattanooga hurt it? I don't know. Will the higher proof of the Blackened help it? I don't know. We'll see. So, my predictions. What do I think is going to happen here? Before we get started, all these glasses sitting here calling my name. Anyway, quickly, my predictions. Well, I hate to say it, but I had a bottle of the regular Blackened before this one. That was, 100 proof? And I found it to have a weak nose and weak on the palate. It was really nice and tasty, but it got overwhelmed by everything I put next to it. So when I saw this cask strength version, I decided I had to go out and buy it, give it a chance, at a stronger proof level. And it does help it some, all right? The nose isn't quite as weak and the palate isn't quite as weak, but it's still kind of on the weaker side. I hate to say that's true. But then on the negative, it's now a little proofy. So I hate to say it, but I think this bottle might finish last. That's what I'm getting around to saying here. Barrel bourbon number 35. Really good. Love it. However, it blinds okay. It's usually kind of finishes middle of the pack, although here we've got some tough competition. I think barrel bourbon number 35 might finish near the bottom. Near the top, on the other end of the spectrum, I am absolutely loving this Disco 12, and I absolutely love this Old Elk Cigar Blend. I have not tried them side by side yet, so I don't know how they necessarily compare to each other. I wanted specifically to wait for today to try that out. But these are my 2 favorites, personal favorites, and therefore they're my favorites in this blind. And that I think then that the Chattanooga and that the Farmer's Reserve and that the Disco 11 are just going to kind of fight it out in the middle. There, that's my prediction. We'll see how I do. My predictions generally are roughly about right. Now, if I start trying to pick out individual glasses as, I think this glass is such and such, that I don't do very well at. Although I have to say, this Farmer's Reserve, which tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch with maybe some coconut, because of the Amburana cask, yeah, that one's going to be distinctive. All right, let's get started, shall we? I've numbered these bottles 1 to 7. I have 7 glasses here already mixed up that I will refer to them as A to, I guess that's G, right? All right. Let's get these glasses over here and get this going. They're all, like I said, they're already all mixed up. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yes, A to G. And let's begin, shall we? Dried out my throat talking so much. All right. Glass A. By the way, if you noticed, if you were counting, 3 of these bottles are finished and 4 of the bottles are not. Another little comparison there. See if that makes any difference. Sometimes I find finishing helps, and sometimes I find that it's a hindrance. It really, I guess it just depends on how well they do. This one, by the way, is lovely. The first thing that comes to mind is that it's very bready. Yeah, it is definitely got a bready note to it with some little bit of caramel, but it doesn't come across that sweet. Maybe a little caramel, little vanilla. It's got some fruit to it. Maybe like a stone fruit, maybe like a peach. But boy, is it bready. I just get that in spades. And then a little spice. All right, well, that's Glass A. Glass B. Also really nice. A little lighter on the nose. I don't know if it's a carryover, but I'm still getting some of that breadiness into this glass as well. But not as bad, not as much. Shouldn't say it's bad. I like the bready note. This one's got a little bit more of a sense of spice to it than the last one. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon to it. But also similar to the last one, doesn't come across as being all that sweet. Maybe they will on the palate. But there's a touch of sweetness there that I'm having a hard time putting a finger on. It's that light. And I'm not getting a lot of fruit out of this. Maybe a touch of citrus. All right. Glass C. Oh. Found it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. I mean, I could be wrong. I really need the palate to confirm, right? But that's certainly what it comes across as. A spicy Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Smells tasty. All right. Glass D. Ooh, this is different. All right. Something different than the other 3 glasses I've tried. Almost a little floral. And citrus. If I didn't know any better, I would say, might get myself in trouble saying this because there are some different things going on in some of these bottles. But it almost kind of reminds me of a rye, that there's a fair amount of rye component in this. Either that, or is there something else going on here? Is there a good amount of finishing? I don't know, but I almost get, like I said, citrus. I kind of come across as a lemon. Which I think that's what gives me the rye note, because rye, I often get a lemongrass flavor from rye. Is this lemongrass or is it just lemon? Not sure. Beyond that, though, it's got some vanilla with maybe a little confectionery sugar. Boy, it almost seems like lemon bars. And I don't know, man. This is nice. Yet there's also, I kind of do think it might be finished, because I do kind of get kind of a note of some kind of a port or a sherry or something. But I don't know. Again, sometimes I go off the rails there when I start thinking that it's finished and it's not, or I don't think it's finished and it is. Definitely on the nose, it can be tough to figure that out. Sometimes you just need the palate to really confirm there. So I don't know, but it is definitely floral and citrus, that's for sure. All right, glass E. A little lighter on the nose than the last one. Malty. I guess that breadiness that I was getting in the first two was also kind of similar. But this, instead of it coming across more breadiness, it's coming across as more of a maltiness. Yeah. With some caramel and some spice. It's nice. I like that nose. Glass F. Ooh, nice nose. And strength-wise, it's a nice strong nose. What am I? I'm a little confused. All right, I'm getting a little floral. Not as much as that other glass D. Fruity. Trying to figure out the fruits. Stone fruits, I'm thinking. Somewhere in that range, Maybe there's also a little sugar in this, like confectionery sugar. And some vanilla. That's really nice. It's a little different. That glass is a little different than the rest of these. Glass G. A little lighter again, a little light on the nose. Berry. Malty. Maybe with some caramel, maybe some cinnamon, some baking spice. All right. It's nice, but it's a little not as, it doesn't grab you as much as some of these others. All right, coming back. Glass A. I like that nose. That is really tasty. Wow, let me try that again. Really, pear and vanilla and a little bit of caramel, and it's really nice. Really sweet, fruity bourbon. A little bit of spice. I like that A. All right. Glass B. Wow. So this is the one I thought had a little bit less nose than A, but it tastes really nice. But it's different. Glass A was more of like a boom, straight down the middle kind of bourbon, right? This Glass B doesn't come across that way. It is more. The maltiness, the breadiness does come through. And it's a little thick. It's got kind of a nice mouthfeel, which is nice. But it's vanilla, a little bit of fruit, but then it's got some citrus to it. And is that what's throwing that direction, or is it a finish? I'm not quite sure. I'm really having a hard time pinning this down. It could be a finish that's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But I'm not sure about that. I did not enjoy it as much as I enjoyed A. I'll say that. All right, Glass C. Ooh, yeah, cinnamon toast. Yeah. Cinnamon and spades, coconut, sweet, granular sugar is kind of sweet. Yeah, that's good. If you're looking for something different, if there's such a thing as a dessert whiskey, there you go. Glass D. This one's a little light on the nose. It's a little light on the palate. Tasty though. Sweet. Fruity. Like grapes and pears. With a little vanilla. It's nice. It's light. I don't know if it can stand up to some of these other ones, but it's good. I think it will do it some good if I then come at it from a different direction and don't have the cinnamon toast crunched right in front of it. All right? All right. Glass E. This is one of the light noses, I believe. So that's what it's coming across right now. So rather light nose. And the palate's a little light too, but it's tasty as well. It's nice. The bready maltiness is there. Yeah, really malty actually. The fruit is a little darker, like maybe a melon, maybe, with a touch of caramel. But then it's got like some confectionery sugar. So the majority of the sweetness in this glass is more of the confectionery sugar variety. And maybe also a little bit of citrus. Glass F. Ooh. I like this. I think I know which glass this is. Or bottle it is, I mean. Could be wrong. But I say that because the fruits are dark. Like dates. Maybe into the prunes. Definitely into the dates. With some caramel. like a dark caramel. Like headed towards molasses kind of caramel. All right? A little spice, not overly spicy. There's something else about it that I like. That's good. Is that the glass, by the way? Is that the glass that I said I was confused at first? I think it is. I might be wrong. I think I was confused by that last time I had it as well. All right. Glass G. This is tasty. Sweet, syrupy. Good mouthfeel to this one. It smells malty, but on the palate, it's not that malty. Caramel, but caramel almost into a taffy. You know, there's like a little caramel, there's like a little vanilla, almost like a taffiness to it. It's probably has something to do with the fact that it is, that it's syrupy, and it kind of also kind of gives you that, sends you that direction of the taffy. Yeah, it's just really tasty. The fruit, there's definitely fruit in it. On one hand, I feel like it's a pear, and on the other hand, I feel like it's a melon, right? I kind of get in both. I like that one. So now I got to eliminate somebody. And I got to come back to the ones, like, which ones did I think weren't that great? Well, I remember saying that I liked these last two. I liked A, I liked C, right? So those are the ones I distinctly remember thinking, I like those. So I guess that means I need to play with B, D, and E. Little cheese. I really find cheese does a great job of resetting the palate. All right. I'm going to go this way. If I'm not mistaken, one of these I thought was floral before. I believe it was this one, but what's hard is that all of these bottles are good. I enjoy all of them. Right? I don't have any bottles up here that are just like, oh, you know, this is crap. I'll just throw it in there anyway. So, it's nice. It's sweet, but it's on the subtle side. This is also on the subtle side. It's also a little light. Both of these were light. This one is more, I'm not sure. I'm trying to come up with what I want to say about it. There's something a little different about it. It's rather citrusy, and it's something I'm just having a hard time putting my finger on that I don't know if I like as much. All right, let's go to B. Yeah, B is nice. It's got a little bit lighter nose, but not as light as these two. But it's nice. All right. Although I don't know, that finish was There we go. Yeah, A deserves to stay out of that. All right, I'm going to consider F in this group as well. Yeah, it's really different. Grapes, and some kind of citrus, and a maltiness, and maybe a floral. I don't know. I'm just a little confused by that glass D. Yeah, E, it's good. It's nice. It's sweet. It's kind of a letdown though, in comparison to the others. F, yeah, it's good. Stronger, nice dark flavors to it. This B is pretty good. All right, I gotta go for it. Glass E is gonna go out in 7th place. Well, that's solid. That G is really good. Finding the D to be kind of interesting now. I think this is going to wear out its welcome, but not yet. I'm gonna go B. Well, I like that better than D because I liked B better than D earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna put B out in 6th place. It's tough because I gotta say that I think E was fairly easy to put out first, whatever it is. But B, D, and B, D, and F kind of all hanging out in the same area, all right? So they really could go. I keep switching what order I want to put them out in, right? Wow. That one's better. It's pretty nice. I'm having a hard time pulling A back. It's between D and F. I think what's hurting, so I think that F is Chattanooga because it's got the dark fruit flavors. I might be wrong, but it is a little on the distinctive side. So, and if it is Chattanooga, Chattanooga has the lowest proof level here at 100 proof. And I think that's exactly what's hurting this glass. I think this is really nice, but it's just not strong enough. And I think if indeed it is the Chattanooga, I think that it's going to be a casualty here, being too low a proof. Even though it's really nice, really pleasant. It really is. But so is this. That's the problem. Yeah, there's something about that. It's a little weird. It's a little different. A glass D. But I like it. All right, I got to go. Glass F out in 5th place. Where do I go from here? Well, I will tell you that glass G, I'm kind of liking the best at the moment. A is good, but maybe not quite rising to the level of some of these other ones. D, also really good. There's just something nice and unique about it, which is why it's still here. But also, I don't know. There's also something a little weird about it. Glass C, which I believe is the Farmer's Reserve. While I really like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's really nice. I'm kind of starting to think it's wearing out its welcome. I do. I kind of think it is. That's what's happening here. So, those are my thoughts on what I got left here. I'm going to start out with the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah. It's good. That's good. You know, there's almost a Almost a little bit of coconut in this as well. And I was saying that there was something a little different about this glass. I don't know. Just kind of like a spicy coconut. In addition to the other flavors, the vanilla, the fruitiness. But yeah. Yeah. That's nice. I don't know if it's the best, but it's nice. Huh. All right, I'm where I started. Got to figure out a path through, right? I think it's time. I'm going to go C out in 4th place. There goes the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. In my last week's blind, it was amazing. And I don't know if it was just how I was feeling that day, or if that's what it was against its competition, right? Whereas, right now, this bottle is up against stronger competition, in particular these last 3 bottles here. Disco 11, Disco 12, and Old Elk Island Cigar Blend. I mean, those are all bangers, right? So, but it had to go. And besides, not only was it starting to wear out its welcome, or starting to fade a little bit, but it'll be nice now to not have that distraction. So I was worried. I was always trying to not have the same glass follow that one all the time, right? So that makes a difference. All right, 3 left. I'm actually surprised that D is still here. Smells wonderful. Nose is not quite as nice, but still good. Also, nose is not quite as nice. I gotta say that if you're going by nose, A has the best nose. Unfortunately, I put what's on the palate is like 2/3 of what I'm thinking about, and on the nose is only about 1/3. Because that's really nice on the palate. It is. I don't know if that's finished or not, but it's got some light fruits, some spice, some sweetness, some citrus. This one's stronger though. Apparently I got a drinking problem. Getting it all over myself. All right. That one's really nice. There's some citrus, there's some breadiness, there's some spice, some fruitiness, some sweetness. It's just everything's going on in this glass. This is really nice. And it's nice and syrupy, got a great mouthfeel to it. Yeah, that's just really good. Whereas this one smells like straight down the middle bourbon, just like boom, bourbon. Watch it turn out to be a bourbon rye. But hey, that's what it smells like to me. It smells like straight down the middle. and it's also really good. I think I might know what I'm going to do here. Yep. In third place is going to be Glass D. In second place, it's going to be Glass A. And my winner is Glass G. That's how it's got to be. I really enjoyed the last three glasses. Well, I actually liked them all. There weren't any bad glasses here. I liked them all. They were all good. E was an easy one to put out. In comparison, it couldn't quite hang with the others, but it was still really nice and pleasant. Not disappointed with any of these glasses. I am interested to find out what I did. What did I do here? All right. Cheese. All right. In seventh place, number 2. Okay. I thought this would be near the bottom. I really thought that it would be blackened would finish last. I really did. I totally thought that would be the case. But I did think barrel bourbon would be near the bottom. So I'm going to put it right there. Barrel bourbon, number 35. And that's a good bottle. It really is. That's a good bottle. But it went out in 7th place. Because, somebody's got to go out last. Somebody's got to, right? All right. In 6th place was Glass B. Oh my God. What the hell did I just do? I didn't like it as much as the others. I mean, I taste it now and I go, yeah, it's nice. I like it. I just put Disco 12 out in 6th place. I can't complain about trying that and then trying the 5th place glass, which I think is going to be the Chattanooga. I really like that Chattanooga. I just tried those 2 glasses again, and I kind of like that glass better than this glass. I don't know how that happened, because I came in here thinking that Disco 12 was probably going to win this. Now, I had only tried Disco 12 against Disco 11, and I thought Disco 12 was much better than Disco 11, but Disco 11's still out there somewhere, and Disco 12 just went out in 6th place. What can you do? What can you do? All right. In 5th place. Number 1, Chattanooga. I was correct that this is Chattanooga. How could I not be? Dates and prunes. Now, I have a experimental single barrel from Chattanooga on the shelf that is, just like prunes all day. It's a bit much, I have to say. Now, in this, I can tell that they put that mash bill in this, but they blended it with 2 other whiskeys, right? 2 other bourbons. And, so it's toned that down. It's still there. The prunes, the dates are still there. But, it's toned it down. It's sweetened it up. It's really nice. This Founders is really nice. I think, though, like I said, the problem with this, even though it tastes just absolutely wonderful, the problem with this is that it is a little thin, and it could use a higher proof level. That would be my critique of this Founders Blend here. All right, fourth place. You know, this is still out there, right? Blackened. I was, throwing shade on this, right? And I gotta say, when I had the 100 proof version, it was really weak. I thought this version, the cast strength version, was proofy. But anyways, it's still out there. In fourth place. Well, we knew that, right? We knew that I had put this out, Glass C, the Farmer's Reserve, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, out in this fourth place. It's good. I thought these three were better. This is still here. This is amazing to me. I expected this to be here. And this, well, this is what we're here about, right? I know this is a $135 bottle. I expect it to be good. All right, in. What is this? Third place. Third place. Oh. No. This got wet. And my ink ran. And I'm not sure what number that is. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to look at the next two glasses to know what this is, because this one, I don't know if you can read what that is. I can't. I don't know what number that is. All right. That's Mystery Glass. In second place, number 5, Disco 11. Second place. This one here is in third. You know, if I put Blackened as my number 1, that'd be ridiculous. Anyways, number 1. Unbelievable. How in the world does this happen? How in the world does this happen? Now, I have to say that I have never put Blackened's cast strength in a blind before, I don't think. I had the other one in several blinds. Number 4. Number 4. I loved it the whole time. Yeah. What can I say? I like it. I mean, I don't have a problem with this lineup, except that I think these two should have been switched, right? I don't know how. I don't know how Disco 12 ended up down here. But I don't disagree. I mean, I just tried them again. I like the Chattanooga better than I like this one. I do. That's stunning. Stunning. These finished near the top. Expected them to. I kind of thought that this glass, which kind of confused me a little bit, I kind of thought it was finished. Okay, it is the old Elk, which is finished, multiple finishes. That's really nice. I don't disagree with this. I had no idea. This has been sitting in the back of my shelf for a while, thinking, oh my gosh, okay. So I had a version of this that was too light. And then now I bought the cast strength version. I think it's proofy, right? Now I did not find it proofy today, but then, I'm up against all these others here, right? So, unbelievable. There's no way I would have ever guessed this. No way. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I retested the glasses. I don't disagree. They are, according to my palate, this is how it is. Maybe tomorrow I would choose something different. But, all right. So besides the fact that I'm stunned about the 12 and I'm stunned about the Blacken, I do have to say, hey, you know what? 11 is pretty good. And 11 kicked 12's ass. Otherwise, everything else kind of fell in line. All right, well, there's my blind. I'm stunned. I don't know if you are, but there it is. Peace out.